Hello everyone, my name is Rock Usder. Welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm going to be discussing COVID-19. So first off, why am I discussing COVID-19? Well, today is Sunday, yesterday was Saturday, the day before that was Friday. Okay, so on Friday, which was essentially 2.5 days ago. Okay, so 2.5 days ago, at noon on Friday, around noon on Friday, my dad tested positive for COVID. And first of all, I was very surprised that COVID is still active in my community, and I was surprised that my dad contracted COVID because it has largely not been discussed in the media or in my community in recent times. But anyways, he contracted it. And so me and my mom, well, actually, I was supposed to go to a party that day, but I ended up not going because of the fact that my dad tested positive. But then I asked my uncle, who's a doctor, whether I should go to the party, and he said that I'd be fine, and me being there doesn't increase the background risk of transmission very much. However, by then, it was already quite late. And online, the CDC guidelines say that if you're exposed to COVID, you should be careful around other people for 10 days, I think. And then also that you should mask around other people. But my uncle said that the CDC guidelines are too strict, and he is a doctor, and he said the regulations in Canada are more nuanced and more balanced. So take that as you will. But by then it was too late to go to that party anyways. But a friend had come over to get his bike. And so I hung out with that friend for a bit. No mask. No precautions. Then I went to his house. Then I slept over at his house. I didn't end up getting sick. But after that, my mom did not want me or her to contract the virus. So we ended up staying at a hotel, which I guess is a strategy. But now, neither of us have contracted the virus. She got tested and she tested negative. So it's unlikely that either of us have the virus. And we've talked to my uncle, and he said that we don't need to stay at a hotel. And as long as my dad isolates in his own room, we don't have to wear a mask in the house. And he only has to wear a mask whenever he's leaving his room. And as long as he isolates in that room and wears a mask whenever he leaves the room, the risk of us contracting COVID-19, according to my uncle, who is a doctor, is very low. So I think that's our plan, to stay in this house. For tonight. And for the forthcoming days. And until my dad recovers. One thing I think is interesting is my friend, which slept over the night before my dad got tested positive, got the results that he was tested positive for COVID. A friend slept over the night before my dad knew that he tested positive, and that friend is now sick and has some of the symptoms on the CDC website of COVID, such as chills and what else did he say he had? Oh, sore throat. Yes, sore or dry throat, I think. He said dry throat. Well, actually, I'm receiving this information from a third party, so it might not be the most accurate. But the third party told me that he was having chills and was having a dry throat, which seems similar to the CDC-listed COVID symptoms. So I think he might have contracted COVID from being at my house. But I find it interesting, if he did in fact contract COVID, that me and my mom didn't, but he did. Perhaps it has to do with immune system strength. Or perhaps luck. Who knows? And you might not have COVID. that information that I received was from a third party.